I just changed my tampon in my bathroom and dropped the applicator in the toilet full of my pee. And then had to grab it out because who else is gonna? Full of my pee and bloody tampon. And I had to grab it. Anyways, welcome in. Great start to the video. Great start to the video. I have pee hands. I mean, obviously I washed my hands like aggressively, so let's calm down. But telekinesis, is that it? Telepathy. Fuck, that's not even a 2025 question. That was spicy. Obviously, the Boys of Tommen series. Oh, killer of mine. Where'd it go? I suppose you do. Oh, where is she? Welcome to one of my favorite videos of the whole year of all of Vlogmas. I love to do the book tag. This is the 2025 end of year book tag, and this is the one of, actually, I did a wrap up the other, actually, my last wrap up was like this, and now I regret it because this is for the book tag only, so I'm not sure why I did that, but this is the setup for the book tag, and I think you're crooked. Come to my attention, I'm wearing the same brown shirt again. I don't know how that keeps happening. I'm wearing the same brown shirt and then white 1975 sweatshirt in half of my videos, so. The amount of books that I just threw in my bed literally hurts. It hurts because knowing I have to put them all back. But anything for Vlogmas. I am drinking a little glass of wine because I'm actually pre-gaming. This is my pre-game for the drunk wrap-up. I bought Pacific Fruit Vineyards Sweet Cranberry from Aldi. It was $3 and it's delicious. But I'm ready to get started. A lot of these book tag questions are ones that I used last year and I don't know where I got them from. So credit to whoever. I really don't know and I honestly don't care. I'm gonna wait for Stinky to get out of the litter box before we start. He's pooping, in case you're wondering. So now my room's gonna smell like poop. I've got pee hands in a poop room. I said this earlier, but it was for Patreon. It wasn't for y'all, and I really feel the need to say it here. Do not buy your cat a stainless steel litter box because their nails, when they scratch on it, it makes me want to die. Stinky, please get out. Thank you. It makes my skin crawl and I hate it so much. God, I literally got goosebumps listening to his nails scratching that stainless steel. We're ready for the book tag. I will do my absolute best to not repeat the same 10 books. Obviously, there are questions like your favorites, your favorite book couples, most surprising, that like kind of all sometimes are the same book. I do my best to really diversify my books. If you see Boys of Tommen on here over and over and over again, I don't know what to tell you. They're my favorite books ever, so I don't know what to tell you. They're just gonna be on here. Also, it's not like I read 300 books to choose from. I read less than 100 this year, so like I only have so many to choose from. Okay, we are starting off strong. It's not that strong. Actually, I don't know. It's probably pretty boring how we're starting off. My most anticipated book for that's not even a 2025 question. We're not starting with that one. We'll come back to that. That'll be like last. A 2025 new release. This is still not a superlative of the 2025 books that I read. A new release I haven't read yet, not a book I've read in 2025, and then most anticipated book for 2026. Neither of those fit into superlatives for books I've read in 2025. I'm gonna jump. We're jumping. Biggest surprise. We can start there. I can't give you one answer. I give you multiple answers for every single question, and you can deal with it. Biggest surprise. Oh, it's gonna take me so long to find these books. Fuck. I'm just gonna lay them all out in front of me. Excuse me. Must be that fruit wine. Putting Boys of Tommen over here because I know I'm gonna grab form a lot. Okay, most surprising. Give me a second. The Song of Achilles. I didn't really think, I know I liked like mythology and stuff. I just have never really read it as an adult, so I didn't really know how I would feel. And this book changed my life and it's one of my favorite books of the entire year. So definitely surprising. Another one, Never by Jessa Hastings, because I didn't think retellings were really gonna be my thing, especially like Disney retellings, and Peter Pan, a Peter Pan retelling just doesn't sound that fun. And this is one of my favorite books of the year. So definitely surprising. And then then lastly, If It Makes You Happy, because it just looks like an unassuming, random, bland romance book that would be like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, but it's a 5-star read, one of my favorite reads of the year. Those are my most surprising. Biggest disappointment. I've got so many. I would say my absolute biggest disappointment, because the entire series was a 6-star read for me. Like, the entire series is my favorite thing ever. And I was really looking forward to diving into this person's background. So Taming 7 gets my biggest disappointment. It's not that I didn't like the book. I gave it a 4 stars, but I hate Claire. I hate her so much, and she ruined this entire book for me. Taming 7 gets the biggest disappointment. Also, like, how short it is. I just feel like it didn't dive into these characters in the story as much as the other books do, because they're so long and this is so teeny tiny. And like, yes, I cried. Obviously I cried, but I didn't fall in love the way I did with the other books. Also, Onyx Storm, it's not like as much of a biggest disappointment because I kind of saw it coming. For the way Iron Flame kind of went downhill, I feel like it just kept going downhill for me. So Onyx Storm is a big disappointment. Rose in Chains, because I was not expecting to like be as violently angry as I was with this. I was expecting, if it's a Hermione fanfic that was good enough and popular enough to be brought to life and brought to its own world and its own published book, I was expecting a lot, and it just did not live up, and it was so annoying. Oh, and Holiday Ever After, that I literally just read in Vlogmas, that I returned because I fucking hated it. Ugh. Most painful. I have 2 books. 2 books that are the most painful. Maybe 3, because I forgot one of them. For one, Song of Achilles, this tore me to shreds. Like, absolutely tore me to shreds. Most painful book I've read in a really long time. But also, like, honestly does not compare to the pain that I felt in Redeeming 6 and Releasing 10. Honestly, I feel like Releasing 10 is more painful than Redeeming 6. There's just very different problems happening, and these problems are more painful, but I have more of a connection to Joey and Aoife than I do in Releasing 10 characters, so the pain felt worse in this one. Worse in its own way, but this one just hit me harder because I love Joey with all my heart. And then we have Happiest. I just don't read happy books. I really don't. I feel like if I had to pick one, it would be Out on a Limb, because, I mean, it did make me cry, but also parts of it made me so stupidly happy and stupidly giddy of how much they loved each other and how, like, perfect of parents they were. So I feel like if I were to pick, it would be Out on a Limb. But again, I cried a lot, so. Oh, I love this one. Prettiest cover. Okay, I have a couple. Obviously, it can't be a prettiest cover competition. Wait, I have another one, I guarantee. Yep. Without including Jessa Hastings. So we've got the Magnolia Park's Long Way Home cover, stunning. The Never cover, stunning. I love this cover so much. And then I'm holding it where it's like covered by the light. Maybe let me hold it where the light is. Long Way Home, Never. Beautiful, stunning. I love the sunset. Conditions of Will, another just gorgeous one. Her covers are just something else. I had to add in People Watching just because, not that it's like the prettiest, I just really like it. And I think it's cute, and I like the double picture. And then I just got this and I had to include it. But my Song of Achilles, my brand new Song of Achilles. I love it so much. This book fell on my lap. It just wanted to be included. Newman wanted to be included. Unpopular book that I loved. Again, I feel like I said this last year, I don't really read unpopular books because I can't pick books out by myself. I don't know how to pick my own books, so I just read what's popular. But if I had to pick, it's not necessarily like unpopular, but I just don't hear a ton of people talking about it if I can find it. But it would be Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews. I've heard a little bit more about C.G. Drews just because of the new book Hazelthorn that just came out, but I feel like I've never seen anyone talk about this book. Loved. It was like a 4.5. I absolutely loved that book. Oh! Most overhyped. I have a couple of hot takes for this. 2 I own, I don't know where they are. I didn't like them enough, so they're not displayed on my bookshelf, so I don't know where they are in my bookshelves. They're hidden somewhere. But 1, Credence. Overhyped in the sense that everyone said it was like the smuttiest thing you'll ever read. No, it's not. 2, The Inheritance Games. It's ridiculously popular, and I hated it. My 3rd, Catabasis. I don't know necessarily if it was overhyped because of the story itself, or if it was just overhyped because it was a new release by R.F. Kuang. So it could have been that. I just really hated this book. My hot take. And now let me preface. I love this book. So hold on before you freak out when I hold it up that I'm like rage baiting you. I'm not. I'm saying people say this book is like the best book they've ever read in their entire lives. No, it's not for me. It's not for me. I will say, like, the world building, so impressive, so crazy what she does. But the book itself, it's not even my favorite book in the world. Kingdom of Ash. It's not even my favorite book in the series. For how big it is, not my favorite book in the series. But overhyped just because of the pedestal people put this book on. Not that it isn't amazing. Shut up. Obviously, it's a good book, but I'm just saying it is not my god tier book. Most frustrating. Where is she? This fucking book. Obviously, I'm not going to say what happens, but there's a big twist at the end. I hated this book from start to about 3 pages before the twist. Once we found out the twist, I was like, oh, got it. Well, like, that makes sense, but it didn't help because I hated the book. I can't just be like, oh, well then that's fine. I actually loved the book. Like, I literally hated the entire thing. Most frustrating, for sure. We were liars. And then I also wanted to add in inheritance games because of how fucking boring that book was. Ooh, best adaptation to screen. I wrote down all of the ones that I read this year that were adaptations. I haven't necessarily watched them all, but I think my favorite would be Red, White, and Royal Blue because I have seen the movie and I watched it twice. So a rewatch, if it earned a rewatch, just like me casually hanging out in my room and I was like, oh, let's watch Red, White, and Royal Blue, like while I'm doing other things, that's a good sign that I want it playing in the background. So I think that it earns the spot for like best adaptation for me. I still had my issues with it and it still isn't like my favorite thing in the world, but it was still a good time. And then other ones were I'm thinking of ending things. I enjoy, I honestly, these aren't now at this point, this isn't falling into the category of best adaptations. I'm just talking about the adaptations that I own and read. It was a Netflix movie and the acting, they portrayed the acting very differently from how I read it in the book. So I wasn't like a super huge fan and it wasn't as scary as how I read it in the book. Pet Sematary, where'd you go? Pet Sematary, love this book, love this movie. I do think the movie was really good. I haven't seen the new one, I've just seen the original Pet Sematary, and I did really, really like this. It scared the shit out of me as a kid, so I think that it was a good movie adaptation. Oh. Again, we were liars. I made it about 10 minutes into the first episode and that was about it. It might be a really good TV show. I really don't know. Ugh, Clown in a Cornfield. I read that book and really wanted to see the movie and I can't fucking find it anywhere. It's not like playing on anywhere for free that I already like am a part of. And I didn't read it when it was in theaters, so I missed my chance. But I will watch it one day. I will, because I really do want to see the movie. Oh. New Moon, obviously. I can't have this and not put New Moon in there. Like, obviously, it's one of my favorite fucking movies. Oh, I didn't even grab it. Handmaid's Tale because I didn't watch it. Mugs! I just watched her pee on my pair of shorts on the ground. Crazy. Handmaid's Tale. I haven't seen the show. I didn't like the book, but I haven't seen the show, so can't talk about it. And then, of course, classic Hunger Games. Personally, would say I like the movie better, but that's because I watched the movie before reading the book. So anyways, moving on. Books that made me cry the hardest. Y'all know who you're talking to? I counted up the amount of books I cried at, or that I think I can remember crying at out of the entire year. And out of the, like, what was it, 84 books I've read so far, I cried at 38 of them, which is less than half. But the ones that I cried the absolute hardest at, I'm just gonna rapid fire them. Kingdom of Ash, parts of it. I didn't cry as much as I thought I was going to, though. All of Boys of Tommen, I'm not gonna name them all, you know it. Never. I cried harder at this than I was really expecting to. Fearless at anything that had to do with Mac. Song of Achilles, fucking obviously. Pucking Strong. The Favorites. Alchemized, fucking obviously. And If It Makes You Happy. Those I think are the ones that I cried the hardest at. New favorite author. I think it would have to be Chloe Walsh. Like, it would feel stupid to pick anyone but Chloe Walsh when she's written my favorite series and I read them all this year. So she gets new favorite author. Oh, I need to stretch my leg out. Ugh. Newest crush. Well, I mean, obviously, it's gonna be Joey from Saving and Redeeming 6. And then also, like, I guess Johnny from Binding and Keeping 13. He's just, like, 17, so... Oh my god, also, before I forget, Daddy Darius from Zodiac Academy. Also him. This one said new favorite main male and female characters. I would say Joey and Aoife, and then Tori and Darius. I like both of them a lot. My highest and lowest rated on Goodreads. So the highest, which like isn't a shock at all, is Kingdom of Ash at 4.71. And then right below it, shockingly, is Redeeming 6 at 4.64. I didn't realize this was so highly rated. That was a shock. And then my lowest one, where'd it go? Which I read it literally in a Goodreads lowest rating. So like I'm not shocked by it, but Shudder. That was literally in that video. And then right above it, this one was such a shock to me. Oh, Never Shudder had 2.79. That was the lowest. And with a 3.26, where'd it go? Oh my God. 3.26. Never! I don't know if people were doing that because they hate Jessa Hastings, but I love that book. I was so shocked by that. All right, most unique concept. So I have a couple. I would say these, purely for the concept, I don't think they were executed well, but Ashley Poston's books, which it is Poston. I hear Ashley Poston a lot. It's Poston. Just putting that out there. For those of you who never know, it's Poston. Ashley Poston, novel love story where she accidentally like enters the plot of her favorite romance book. So she finds herself in the town, like the setting of her favorite romance book with all the characters and everything. Very cool and unique concept, just didn't execute. And telekinesis. Is that it? Telepathy, and they fall in love through their telepathic connection. Very unique concept, didn't really execute, for me at least. And then also, I thought Never was unique because it's a Peter Pan retelling, but it's not her falling in love with Peter Pan, it's her falling in love with Hook, and Peter Pan, like, you know, being in the way, if that makes sense. And there's a lot about like fate and stuff like that involved. I also wanted to add like honorable mentions, mostly because this won as last year's most unique. It was just republished. So Alchemized, I think, is a unique story, and just the way it's told, even though it's less unique as Alchemized and more unique as Manacled. But anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. I think Bury Our Bones was unique, just like the way it followed the vampires. I don't know, I don't really want to like talk about why it's unique because I think it kind of spoils, but just like the way it followed the stories I thought was cool. And it takes place like over hundreds of years, so I think that was cool. Books I would reread. Obviously, the Boys of Tommen series. I do already, all the time. I want to actually, in 2026, I want to completely reread them. I'm also planning on rereading this, Song of Achilles. I plan on rereading this just because, like, just before the next one comes out, I'll reread Never. I don't really plan on it, but I would. Where'd it go? I would reread Out on a Limb. And then, just for the nostalgic aspect, where'd it go? Zodiac Academy. I think like after I finished all of them, I would go back and read book 1 just to see the difference, just because it's fun in a really big series to go back and read the first one. All right, favorite book couples. See, this is where it like kind of repeats itself. So I would pick Patroclus and Achilles, obviously. Johnny and Shannon, obviously, which means Joey and Aoife, obviously. And then also I would, just because I think they're perfect for each other, Bo and Win. Cringiest, Killer of Mine. That one wins. I don't own it. I read it on my Kindle. That one absolutely wins. It's like a really cringy version of the Mindfuck series meets Pucking Around, but like cringy, so no. Spiciest, I would say probably, I don't own one of them, but out of the ones I own, probably Pucking Strong. And then I read Scary in Love on my Kindle, and that was spicy. That was spicy. I will say Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal had some pretty good spice scenes, but like does not compare to the shit I read in those books. Longest, that's pretty obvious. Alchemized is 1,024 pages, hefty boy. And then the next longest would be Kingdom of Ash, which was 9 something. And then shortest, I don't even know what my shortest is. Let me look. I mean, I read novellas, so it would obviously be a novella, but I like don't really want to count a novella. I'm literally just trying to get past the novellas and books that I read this year. Okay, shortest book that was not a novella, I'm thinking of Ending Things. It was 241. Oh, and the next was also not a novella that I found. And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. It was 264. Books I think about the most. You could probably guess, considering I've named them multiple times. I would say Day to Day. If I were to pick, I'll give myself 2 books to name. And my 2 honorable mentions would be like Kingdom of Ash, just because like the series as a whole, I think about a lot, but not like every day. And then I also, just because I've been waiting for the second one to come out, I've been thinking about Never a lot. But if I were to pick a top 2, it would have to be Song of Achilles and The Boys of Tommen. Okay, sequel that's better than the first. This is fun. I'm not gonna count like, I don't know if that necessarily means like the second is better than the first, but I'm counting like anything in a series that's better than previous ones. So obviously I think Throne of Glass got better as it went on, obviously, even though Assassin's Blade's like one of my favorites. Boys of Tommen because I don't even know where they all went. Like all of the sequels I like better than the first. So like Keeping 13 I like better than Binding 13. And then Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, I don't know where she went. And I don't own it, that's why. But I like Redeeming 6 better than Saving 6. So like all of the part 2s I liked better than the part 1s. Oh, where is she? A Curse for True Love, because I really, really loved this book and disliked both of the first two. Like strongly disliked. The Gingerbread Bakery, this is my favorite in the series, so I think it's better than all of the others in the series. And then Fearless, I think is so much better than Reckless, so that's what I'm counting as the sequel. I don't know if it's technically better than Powerless in my head, just because Powerless is so like nostalgic and fun, and this is more serious and with a lot of problems, but better than Reckless. And then the sequel that gets worse. Not that I didn't like it, but I do think Out of the Woods is significantly worse than Out on a Limb, just because this is like perfect to me. This one is significantly worse than this one. I loved this book. Not as much this one. You know it was coming. Significantly worse than Fourth Wing. And then also Strawberry Patch Pancake House in this. I don't own that one. It's my least favorite one. The scariest, I would say, I'm thinking of Ending Things. I was genuinely scared while reading that in the middle of the night. Like I was having the heebie-jeebies. Books on my nightstand. It's Brimstone. That's the only book I have on my nightstand right now. I usually have like 3 or 4, but this is the only one. Oh, which brings me to my current read, which is Brimstone and Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. Those are both book club books actually over on Patreon. So I'm in the middle of both of those. Author I read the most of. That's not hard to figure out. I read 6 Chloe Walsh books and then reread 3 of them. So I technically read Chloe Walsh 9 times, and these are not small books. So definitely Chloe Walsh. And then the next highest was Zodiac Academy, Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. I read 4 of these, also not small books. And then the next were all 3. So I read 3 Jessa Hastings, 3 Lauren Roberts, and 3 Hannah Bottom Youngs. Books downloaded on my Kindle right now. Let's find out. In my library, I have Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh, Ravage, I can't even see who that's by, Pucking Around, just because it's always downloaded. I don't know, it's just like not undownloaded. The next, Zodiac Academy, Cursed Fates. I have Manacled, for some reason, Crooked Kingdom, for whenever I'm ready to read that. That scared me. I'm also home alone, so it scared me. Don't Do It Again. Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. I never read that one. Pucking Ever After Volume 1 and Volume 2. The entirety of Mindfuck series, for some reason. And The Fall Risk by Abby Jimenez. I never read it, and I meant to. And then the downloaded version of Secrets and Masks, the Hermione fanfic that I wanted to get to. Favorite quotes. This one's so hard for me, but I remembered one from Alchemized that I wanted to read. But like, I just like don't write down my favorite quotes when I read them. I can probably find one in here. Ugh. When Patroclus is fighting and he says the last thing I think is Achilles. Like, I could find so many in this one that I love. The very last line in Song of Achilles, I'm not gonna read it though. There's a line in Shudder about, it says like, you could just pack up your life and move or something, like at the drop of a hat. I don't know, it just says something about like, who cares? You could just pack up and change your life. And I love books like that. Oh, the Alchemized one. She is like waking up from being like passed out and she says, "Do I know you?" And he says, "I suppose you do." And it only hurts if you know the whole story. Oh my god, that's like one of my favorite fucking lines in that whole book. So that one's probably my favorite. And then there's so many more. I could be here all day looking at quotes. I'm not going to though. Ooh, drink of choice. So right now it would be, obviously I have to say Celsius. That's a drink of choice for me right now. Probably the Astro Vibe. That's my favorite. And then at night, a tea. I love a green tea. I'm out of all of like my peach green teas. I love a pomegranate green tea. Right now I have a strawberry green tea that I bought in Greenville and I don't really love it, so I'm kind of upset about it. If I'm going coffee, my favorite coffee right now is the peppermint mocha at Lazy Daisy. It's so fucking good. I just bought one today and I'm saving some for tomorrow. It's in my fridge. Series I have to finish. My top priorities, I mean, not like priorities, but like the series I want to finish the most: Zodiac Academy, Twilight, and then the Addicted series. I didn't read a single Addicted book this year, this entire year. Not a single Addicted book. And I'm on like book 6 or something. Not a single one is crazy. Like, that's actually insane. Preferred place to read. This chair right over here, you know the chair I'm talking about. That's my preferred place to read. Oh my god, we're almost done. Going back to my first 2 questions. New release I haven't read yet, Brimstone. Obviously, I am on like page 3, like I literally just started it today. Most anticipated book for 2026 will be the next Boys of Tommen. That is my absolute most anticipated. I don't even know which one it is. I don't care which one it is. Absolutely number 1. Least favorite of the entire year. I think I would have to go Inheritance Games. Like, you could not pay me real money. I mean, like, probably a decent amount I would. Real money to read that book. Like, my other contender was We Were Liars, but you could pay me to reread that. Just because, like, now reading it with a new perspective, you definitely could. But Inheritance Games, no. No, no, no. And then my favorite. This was hard, but I think I decided on Redeeming 6. I think this is my favorite read of the entire year. Oh, and then I was gonna finish it by just telling you all of my 5-star reads and my 6-star reads. I had more than I did last year. 5-star reads were Binding 13 and Saving 6 and Releasing 10. Fearless by Lauren Roberts, Out on a Limb, 6 of Crows, The Favorites, and If It Makes You Happy. I realized The Favorites didn't really win any. That's kind of sad. I love that book. And then my 6-star reads were Keeping 13 and Redeeming 6, which, like, it's crazy. Like, books like Song of Achilles didn't even make it. I could talk about that book, and neither did Never. There are so many, like, honorable mentions that at the time, they're not, like, perfect books to me, but the story stayed with me more than most of these books did. Oh my god, we're done! Oh wait, no, that's it. We're done. All right, I hope you. I hope you had so much fun, and thanks for watching the 2025 book tag. If this makes it onto YouTube, I was just feeling generous because it was supposed to be a Patreon video, so I was just feeling extra generous and wanted to share with y'all. No, it's called I Need a Video. That's what that's called. That is it for the video. I love you so, so much. This was day, I don't fucking know. What day was this? Someone tell me. Day 7, maybe? All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.